I'm T-Junkie, and welcome back to part 18. In this part, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting up the options menu. And to do this, we load up our coin collector, go into our main menu, and scroll away up to the top, and then we need to create another window. Now we're going to have it the same size as the new game window and the stats window, so we can just copy stats window. Put it in here. We want it is a 7. Call it options window ID. And options window rect. And that's what we need to do for that one. We are going to need to have a couple more private variables in here though. First of all, I will be adding in a public camera. We call it game camera. Then what we're doing is a private float game volume, and I'm going to set it as 0.0f for now. And then private float underscore field of view equals 60f. The reason I set it to a float is because the field of view in the actual game is a float. Unity, if you find the main camera, if you look here, this is field of view. 60 is default, and it is a float if you scroll up and down. But that's the only float we need for the field of view, because we'll be editing this in an actual menu. Then what we're going to do is we want to create some things for our sensitivity. So we want to do a private float underscore sensitivity, and we want to equal that to 1 for now. And then we want to say a private float underscore mouse x value, and then a private float underscore mouse y value. This is so we can get the x and y axis of our mouse, so we can change the value. The reason why I've created another separate sensitivity up here is because I want these two to equal this sensitivity. So when we edit the sensitivity here, it edits these two exactly the same. That way you don't have a faster up and a slower left and right. Now what we need to do is, if we go to our start function, just need to create something quite simple, like if player prefs dot has key sensitivity. Then what we're going to set is underscore sensitivity equals player prefs dot get float sensitivity, and then set an else if we don't have it, underscore sensitivity equals 1.0f. The reason for this is, if we have a value sensitivity, now we can actually save it. If we don't have the sensitivity, it sets it to default as to 1, but if we do, it's going to set it to the sensitivity we had saved. now what I do is we want to go and start doing some sensitivity field of view now. So what I'm going to do is if player prefs dot has key, and then we're going to call it field of view. Then underscore FOV equals player prefs dot get float field of view else underscore field of view is equal to 60.0f. That's the default. And then we want to do the same for game volume. So if player prefs dot has key game volume underscore game volume equals player prefs dot get float game volume. Then else underscore game volume equals 100.f 100. So if we go back up here, this game volume I've set it 0 for now, but it'll automatically change it to 100 on launch of the game. So now, with all that said and done, we need to start doing some of the actual display for our stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to GUI, say if underscore is options menu equals true, then we're going to do score options window rect equals a GUI dot window. And window background. I'm just going to copy this here just to save time. If I scroll all the way down to the bottom, do a public void options display int, paste that in. There we go, we've got the options menu. Now we want to create 3 buttons for our options menu. We want to have a gameplay, graphics and audio. Now, to do this is quite simple, just create 3 buttons. So if GUI dot button is a new rect. Now we want to do it underscore options menu rect divided by 2 minus, so since it's divided by 2 we need to divide it minus 160 I believe. And then we want to have it as 10, oh not 10, from 60 from the top, 150 wide and 32 high like normal. Then call that gameplay. And then we call that button normal. Oh, dot width on here. There we go. Now we can just copy this really. So we just copy this and paste it 2 more times. So this one here divided by 2 minus 75. Whoops, I think this one here is wrong. And then we do that divided by 2 plus 160, I believe. Wait, no, that's wrong as well. Because that's 75 for the things, so I need 85. And that's minus 75 already, plus I need to do another 10, so that's 85, then I need to plus 150 onto 85. My maths is terrible at the moment. So, well, that's a big, Windows 10 has a big calculator. So, 85 plus 150 is 235. Save that off. Graphics in the middle, and I'll have audio on the right. There we go. Whoops, that's not going to do anything for us because I have not set that up. If I go up, if we scroll all the way up to the top, not all the way up to the top, where it's the main menu, here we are, options. So I say underscore is first menu equals false, and then underneath underscore is options menu equals true. Now it'll actually do something. Never go into Unity, click play. Click options, and there we go, we've got our 3 buttons. Gameplay, graphics and audio. Now while we're here, this game camera here, if we drag our main camera on here, there we go. And then we can go back into our script, scroll all the way down to the bottom. And this is what it is. Now what we do is go, no, we don't need to do an if, we just need to say underscore is graphics options menu equals false, underscore is audio options menu equals false, and then underscore is gameplay options equals true. Now we just need to do the same for these 3. So underscore is gameplay options menu equals false, underscore is audio options menu equals false, and underscore is graphics options menu equals true. And then the last button as well. Underscore is gameplay equals false, underscore is graphics equals false, underscore is audio equals true. Now below these buttons we want to do 3 if statements. Say if underscore is gameplay equals true, if underscore is graphics options menu equals true, and then if audio is underscore is audio equals true, and there we go. And then we need to do one last button, which will be if GUI.button is a new rect, and then let's set that underscore options menu rect dot width divided by 2 minus 75 screen dot height underscore options menu rect dot height minus 42 150 32. Call that back, and then button normal. And then if this is true, we want to do underscore is gameplay options menu equals false, underscore is graphics options menu equals false, underscore is audio options menu equals false, underscore is options menu equals false, underscore is first menu equals true. The reason why we're saying that all of these equal false is because that way, no matter what menu you're on, this back button will still take everything away and open up the first menu. Now we save that off, go to Unity. options. So we've got the back button here, and it works when we click each of these. And then back, we still got here. Then we don't have any graphical bugs. Now, in our gameplay, what we need to do is we need to set up a few things. You see, first, I'm thinking of having a way to rename the player. So if you've spelled your name wrong and you've created a profile and you want to change your profile name, you can. So I'm going to do a GUI.label. Where's a new rect? We'll do see what you think about it here. 60 plus 32 is 92. So 102. If I set them all as a default 150 from the top now. And then from the left we need just wait. It's 10 from the left, 150 from the top. There we go. Do it 200 wide and 25 high. And just say rename player. We want to do a then I want to say actually underscore player name equals a GUI.text field, because to be honest we can just use this name again, which is a new rect, and then what we're going to do is say from the left hand side that's 210, so 220, run it 150 from the top, 200 long and 25 high, and then we say that another thing, let's go player name. And then what we could do is we could create another button. So if GUI.button is a new rect, then we want to do it 420 to 430, 150, 150 and 25, because this could be a small button. I'm going to say apply, and then it's going to be button normal. Oops. I'm going to say underscore player, not there, player prefs dot set string player name, and then underscore player name, and then underscore player name equals nothing. There we are, empties out that field. I believe that's correct. So if I go up to my apply button up here, set string player name, yeah. So we can create a character or we can rename a character. Here. Now we've got the rename in. We need to make sure that it displays correctly. We've got no errors. Options, gameplay, there we go, rename player. That's a bit too far over, to be honest with you. A bit too far over. So I just delete my profile accidentally, by any chance? in the start function, is there a delete all? No, there isn't. Oh, I know why, yeah, because I changed what company I was in. Now, with that done, that's a bit too fast, so I'm going to say that's 100, that's 120, that's 230. So surely if I... There you go. Let's see if that works. I think I just had a brain meltdown for a second. Yeah, it works. There we go. That's perfect the way it is. Now what we need to do is underneath here, let's start creating our sensitivity. So you want to do another GUI label. And call it sensitivity, and I want that, see that starts 150 from the top, and they're all 25 high, so it's 175, so I'll do, because I don't really want them all cramped together, these options, 175, so if I do 200, gives a nice gap underneath. Sensitivity. Now what we need to do is do a underscore sensitivity is equal to a GUI.horizontal slider. Then we need to do a new rect, and then what we need to say is how far from the left. See, it's already 200 from the top, then we're doing 110 from the left. So it'll be 120 from the left, 200 from the top. Its width, so it'll be underscore options menu rect dot width minus. See, that's 120 from the left already, so we need to minus 120 minus another 50. So that's 170. So if I do 180, do a 25 high, and underscore sensitivity. And then we need to do a couple of, now with these scroll bars you need to do a minimum, a maximum that they can go. So the minimum I'm going to have is 1.0f, and the maximum I'm going to have it go is, the sensitivity I'll have it go is 15. Because in Unity that's insanely fast mouse speed. But you can always change this maximum value to whatever you want. It's entirely your preference. You can have it up to 99 if you really want, but no one will ever use 99 because you move the mouse a millimeter and you'll do 3 or 4 spins. It's crazy. Now underneath this, what we're going to do is we're going to have like a visual aid. So something to show what sort of sensitivity it's on at the moment. So what we need to do is create another GUI.label, it's a new rect, and then what we're going to do is do it underscore options menu rect dot width minus, and what do I do? This is already 50 from the left, so if I say 40. And then the height from the top is 200. Then I want to do it 40 by 25. Now what we need to do is just do some blank marks plus, delete the comma plus. Then what we want to do is we need to typecast it as an int. So int and then underscore sensitivity. And sensitivity. The reason being is we want to we want to display this as an int, so a solid number. And if it's a float, if it's a float, it'll display loads of you'll say 1.2345. We don't want that. We just want it displaying pure numbers. I mean, you can change it to, you can delete this so it's a float if you want, but I'm going to keep it as pure number. If I go Unity, click play, click options, click gameplay, and that little bar here needs dropping down a bit. But if we increase this, it goes up to 15, down to 1, 15, 1. It defaults to 1 to begin with. Now what we need to do is we need a way of saving all of this. So what we need to do is create an apply button. Seems quite easy actually. So what we need to do is, first I want to lower this, so that starts from 200. I'm going to start this from 210. Let's see if that actually lines up perfectly fine. Maybe 210's a bit too much. 205. Just tweaking again these, looking, yeah, see that looks alright there. Sensitivity bar down there. We've got the rename player which we can apply straight away. We just need an apply button. So what we're going to do, whoops, is we're going to do a if GUI.button is a new rect, and I just want it underneath all this stuff here, so I'm going to have it, that's 200, I'm going to say I'll have it as 300, not 300 from the left, but 10 from the left. Actually no, I want it underscore options menu rect.width divided by 2 minus 75. Then I want it 200 down, no not 200, 300 down, 150 wide, 32, then I apply, and then button normal, and then after this is done, we're going to say player prefs dot set float sensitivity, and then underscore sensitivity. So we're saving sensitivity now. That's the only thing we need to save here, really. Now if we go click play, click options, gameplay, decrease sensitivity to 8, click apply, click back. Now we'll go back in the game. This should have saved if I don't have any problems. There you go, yeah, see, it's 8 still. So I'm going to move that down to 1 because the sensitivity is crazy. Right, now that's the gameplay done, the options menu laid out, and then the next tutorial will be working on the graphics options. I've been TJuggy, I'll see you next time, goodbye.